distance form, running off the ideal mark for a winner of this race, loves big fields, all things won over course and distance, all things being equal, he ticks all the boxes. The horse I was going to select was McClory for Emmett Mullins. Mark Mullins taking the ride. Gets in off 10 stone 7, which is a lovely weight. Won a really valuable hurdle a couple of years ago. Not really hit the heights over fences, but I was thinking if this was soft ground, being by jukebox jury over this trip, off this weight, it would have been fine. I just wonder for a horse who's had jumping problems, unless they've completely ironed it out, which we're not going to know until race time, if a bit of softer ground might mean they'll go a bit slower. For all, I think he would run a really, really good race. Will the Wise is in here for Gavin Cromwell, Keith O'Donoghue. Will the Wise, do you think it was named after the character on Stranger Things? I think it was. Ran really well in the Pertemps last March. Really well. Won an absolute blinder of that. Really solid chase form. Gets in off a lovely mark. Again, I just wonder if the ground is going to be a bit lively for him. Saying that, I did look at Well Chosen, the sire, and he had really, really good ground form. One who I think is not flying under the radar as such, but I think is really interesting is Booster Bob for Ollie Murphy and Sean Bowen. He improved leaps and bounds when he won over 2 miles 6 at Newbury a couple of starts ago. A lesser run since, I would say. Dropped back in distance to this distance, but I just think with the hill, he could improve. What I would say as well, that last run as well was on a bog. He gets in off 11 stone. Sean Bowen takes the ride. I think that one is going to run a big race at a big price. As the interesting one in here as well is Peaky Boy for John Joe O'Neill Jr. riding. He has shown he loves this course and distance. Is a course and distance winner. Has loads of strong course form, but did take a crunching fall 17 days ago. He hasn't found his form for the O'Neill yard. If you're into taking a flyer, I think that could run a big race. Same with Jungle Boogie. He was a good horse, gone completely off the rails. Can a horse bounce back? We've seen Sue Smith do it with horses at Cheltenham in particular before, and that has got a chance, but in general, this race, the classier horses do come to the fore, I would say this. Henry de Bromhead is double-handed in here with quite fancied horses. Down Mexico way, Dara O'Keefe takes the ride, suggesting this is the first string. 1, 2 out of 4 over fences, but tried in grade ones twice and had no realistic chance, especially last time out, of doing anything. Gets in off 11 stone 5. This trip will be a new experience for him, but Henry de Bromhead, he does have a habit of getting the horses ready as he gets to the festival. Zurich is a similar one who actually gets in off 10 stone 8, really lightweight. Been really progressive after a long break. He's been off a long time since October, 87 days, £9 higher now than his October win. He could run a good race, though. He'll have to step up. It's a better class race. Had a long break, but he won well off a break. So Zurich is very, very good chance of running into the weights. Down memory lane as well. Gordon Elliott, Jack Kennedy has won 2 Realise. He's won 2. I've realised he's won 2 chases over 2 mile 1 and 2 mile 4. Best days still to come. But a lot of weight. I think there's going to be bigger targets for him. This strikes me as the type of horse that you will see over something like the Topham at Aintree. But we will see. I think he could run a good race. I think the 1, 2, 3, though, I'm going to go with Madara from McClory. And do you know what? I'm actually going to put Zurich in here. Even though it's the second string of de Bromhead, looking now 12 to 1, 8 stone 8, I think that could run a big price for those who like to go each way. And remember, a lot of bookies on this one paying 5 and 6 places, always shop around. Which brings us to the conclusion of day 1, which is what was known as the 4 miler, now the 3 mile 6. It was that 1 year, wasn't it, where like 3 finished. We got the winner that year. I think it was back in front, wasn't it? But everyone went mental about it, so they decided to make it shorter. So that's something fun to think about. And no longer amateur riders. It's a 3 mile 5 race on this. Unfortunately, on this one, Hung Jury, I had an anti-post on at 100 to 1, and he hasn't gone in it. Martin Keithley confirming that the ground isn't soft enough for him. He is a soft ground horse. The favourite for this, and has been for a long time, is Back Me or Sack Me for Emmett Mullins, Donna Mailer taking the ride. He's only ever won over 2 mile 5, but he has run well over 3 mile 1 at the course. By Getaway, a lot of stamina in the line. There's a lot of hope pinned that he will stay the trip. But for me, it is more hope. And 3 to 1 he is now. God, that is a short price. The one I fancy on this, though, and I'll tell you what's quite fascinating on this, is Newton Tornado for Rebecca Curtis, Sean Flanagan taking the ride. Last year's winning trainer, has shown bags and bags of stamina over slightly shorter. When he wins the race, this one, it's just by outgunning him late on. The concern is he has pulled up and fell. He has this tendency to make jumping mistakes, but they have booked a top rider here in Sean Flanagan to take the ride. I've heard on the grapevine that there was overtures made to try and get Paul Townend to ride this horse in the last week. Don't know how true it is, but a lot of people said Rebecca Ferguson, where am I off? Rebecca Curtis has tried to make a play for him, but obviously didn't happen because obviously he doesn't have a runner, a horse in the race, or a run, I should say. But that in itself could be a tip in itself. And Newton Tornado, when he puts his best foot forward and he's got a really good jockey, I think that horse has been showing the right signs here. And I think the booking of Sean Flanagan's clever. Weighed out, what a weird horse this is. 2 runs ago, he was running like a pig in an alley at Cheltenham, smashing every fence. This was in Christmas, New Year time. And then suddenly found 5th gear, went into overdrive and won. Out of nowhere. And didn't back it up last time out, but looks like a real stamina horse. Concern is top weight, and by Shantu, they usually want a lot of give in the ground. Iceberg Theories in here for Paul Nolan, very shrewd guy. His only chase win was over an extended 3 mile 1. Oh, sorry, his place was over 3 mile 1, been running over shorter. This is a step up in class, but by Flemingsfirth, again, bags of stamina. One who I think is going to outrun his price here, and I am going to back it as well because I'll do a couple in this race, is One Big Bang. It was that run in around Christmas. Well, it was actually late November it was. I backed him that day, and I thought, we're on for a winner here. We're looking good. Coming towards the second to last, he was travelling really well. Was outstayed in soft ground. Saying that, the time before, I tipped it up on the WhatsApp service and he absolutely hosed in, and that was on better ground. I don't think he didn't stay. I think it was the soft ground that day, personally, that he didn't particularly like. Now, what I would say is his sire is Masked Marvel. Look through the horses who were sired by Masked Marvel. Give you some examples that include T Hoopoo, clear favourite for the Stayers Hurdle, amongst others. So, being by Masked Marvel, there is bags of stamina in here. He's got better ground. Nice mark off 11 stone 9. Alex Chadwick, who's a good young jockey, taking £3 off as well. I think he's 11 to 1 now. I think he's overpriced at 11 to 1. As I also think overpriced is Guard the Moon for the Twiston Davises. He is 2 for 3 over fences. Run really well latest, over 3 mile. Looks to be full of stamina. Not that it is on breeding, but he looks like he's got a lot of stamina in his profile, the way he runs. And I think he could outrun his price there at a big price without making the frame, though, if you want me to be honest. The only other one left to mention here is King of Answers, because it's Lucinda Russell, and Lucinda Russell loves a stayer, doesn't she? Up £10 for a really, really good win last time out. But I just wonder if that shot his mark. Looks like is destined for staying races, but I just wonder if he shot himself in the foot with that win. But for the winner, though, I am coming back to Newton Tornado, but I can tell you this, there is not much in my picking between Newton Tornado and One Big Bang. So 1, 2, 3 then, for the 4-miler, as I'm calling it, is Newton Tornado from One Big Bang. And I'm actually going to I've actually taught myself to put into the 3 king of answers into here. I think might be weighted down, but I think could run a solid race in that sense. Thanks for watching. Day 1 is done, and I will be back tomorrow with day 2. Take care, guys. Bye.